Nate Morrow ahead of his Dynasty Combat Sports Seasons Beatings Brawl in Lincoln. How you doing, man?
Good, good. How about yourself, Nate?
Pretty good, pretty good. Um, Man, it's you took a pretty big chunk off and then hop back in and kind of have gone kind of hard and heavy back in into the cage. How's it feel to be back in there?
It's my favorite thing in the world. I obviously I do other fighting. I'll take any kind of fight, but MMA is always my home. It's been my home. I'm a wrestler at heart, so I love
Right
it.
on. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Where do you train out of? Kind of give me your background here.
Um, so grew up Hastings, started training with OB, all them at Hard Knocks, but I'm in Lincoln now, training at Precision Combat Sports with under Robert Rojas, Robert Anderson's out there, Andrew Huffman, Ben Raha teaches jiu-jitsu down there. Got a lot of killers, and that's in Lincoln.
Robert Rojas has been a name in this game for a very long time. What does it mean to have him there coaching you and kind of in your corner to help you get into these fights and kind of get through it?
It means the world, man. When I started training at 14, he was training in Hastings, coming from Grand Island, so he's literally been there since I started. He's the I laugh about it, but he's the only man who's ever taken consciousness from me. It was my fault shooting in on a takedown when he was kind of throwing up a knee, but only man. I look up to him every day. It's such an honor just to have him in the room.
We've seen many evolutions of Nate Morrow. We've seen the young Nate Morrow, the guy that gets upset and walks out of the cage. Um, we've seen you kind of grow up in the cage and become a lot more professional. I mean, kind of tell us a little bit about that journey.
Just just like anyone's journey, kind of just growing up, man. It's like you said, kind of being a dumb, immature kid, getting upset over stuff that I probably could have prevented since it's fighting and either you win or you lose and it's your fault or it's not. There's not much in between, but it's humbling. I've gotten beat up a good amount. I've taken my licks. I like to tell people who are getting started new at the gym, it's good to be a nail because you get to learn how to be a hammer. If everybody's just a hammer, when it's time to be a nail, not a lot of people can take that. But I think that definitely helps me not only in my career but in life.
Man, you've been a staple in the Nebraska fight scene for actually quite some time now. I think you've been doing this for what, 10 or 12 years now? How does it feel to be back in the Dynasty cage at Seasons Beatings, kind of your home away from home in the cage, some might say?
It's amazing, man. Having you, I feel really perceived by you talking about me, man. I have known you forever, man. It's been over a decade, brother. It's great. It's awesome working with the same people I've been working with pretty much since I started, and it's getting to see them grow just as I've grown, just as you're growing. It's like I said, really humbling and just a really awesome experience, man.
For fans who might be seeing you for your first time, what can you say you're like inside the cage?
I have a serious answer and kind of a silly answer to that I get. The silly answer I tell kind of just casuals at work is I fight like you throw two squirrels in a box. But for people more into it, I think I'm a pretty decent striker, but I'm well rounded to say the least. I'm never in a boring fight though. I absolutely love what I do. I don't like just wrestling, holding people down. Not I give people their money's worth, that's for sure.
I mean, nicknames in the fight game are definitely something that is kind of one of those things that a lot of people get them different ways. They give them to themselves. Tell me a little bit about your nickname and kind of where it came from.
That one I gave that one to myself. I won't lie. And Caleb Nugent. You know Caleb Nugent. He gave me so much hell about that. Him and OB and everyone, so much hell, so much hell. And I think around the time that I beat who's the champ? I won the 45-pound amateur belt, and that was when Caleb and them finally were like, you know what? All right, you might have earned that one. And I was that guy who gave it myself, but I like to think I've earned it for sure.
Awesome. Man, how's camp been going leading up to this fight? I mean, how are things going there at Dynamic Edge? I mean, I know that Dynamic Edge is one of those things that it was here, it was gone, and now it's back.
It's precision combat sports now, my
Oh,
man, Nate.
it's
But
precision now. Okay.
yeah, we moved out to Alpha Saltillo.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, tell me how camp has been, and how the gym is coming back together there, and all that.
Oh, it's been amazing, man. It's been amazing. Like I said, Andrew Huffman's there. Ben, who's a really good ground guy, who's also on the cards there. We got a lot of really strong wrestlers, a lot of really good fighters. Dakota's on the card. Alex Dubray's on the card. I got a lot of killers, and I like to think a lot of really big killers, man. So getting to fight people my size is a lot less intimidating when I'm getting ragdolled by those dudes.
Obviously some new guys you're training with there. Anything new? Any new wrinkles you put in your game in the past couple of years?
I'm always trying to evolve. I think I can always get better with my stand-up. I can always learn some new tricks on the ground. Probably more the ground than anything, just because that's such a going with guys like Ben and Lucas Beardsley and Ben in the room and Andrew. They're definitely showing me another level of the jiu-jitsu game that is intimidating, but also really fun to think about doing to other people. So
that's awesome. Okay. Well, okay. Known for finishing fights. The last fight you didn't finish, you lost against your opponent in this card. Talk to me about that.
My last fight against him.
Yeah. Last time you fought, your last loss and your last non-finish was against Ashton. Tell me about what it means to you to be able to go out there and change that.
I've been waiting a really long time to get the opportunity to right this wrong. Everyone's got an excuse. Everyone can say, "Oh, it just wasn't my night," and it was his night, man. It was his night. But it means absolutely the world to me to make next Friday my night.
How does it feel to be a finisher, to be somebody that's known to go out there and finish the fights, even if they are deep in the third round?
That's what people show up for, man. That's what fight. If I wanted to wrestle somebody, I'd try to do some kind of junior or lower semi-pro wrestling. You know what I mean? That's what I grew up watching Power Rangers and Dragon Ball Z and stuff, bro. You know what I mean? When I want to fight somebody, I want to fight and I want to finish you and I want to take you out, man. And I'm not fighting you to love on you and hug you. I want to mess you up, man. I expect you to want to do the same, and that's what it's all about.
I've heard a lot of different people talk about going into a fight. What is your mentality going into a fight? Do you have to have hate towards a person? Do you look at it as a sport that you're going out there to face off against another opponent? I mean, kind of what is your mentality going into the cage?
It's not pretty. You know what I mean? I know it's a sport, but it's pretty rough. I haven't met any doctors who recommend doing it, So you know what you sign up for, and at least I expect to come out with some kind of bumps and bruises and give out some bumps and bruises. And fighting to me is just as simple as who wants to get beat up more on any given night. Everybody's tough. Sometimes you can knock somebody out, but I'm small, bro. I'm small. I can't knock people out like that. So I gotta just plan to get beat on and beat on you a lot more.
Man, when you're walking out of the cage and you hear them announce Nate the Madman Morrow, what do you want that to convey to the fans out there watching you?
Just a guy who absolutely loves what he does, and you can see it every single second, whether I'm walking out, getting beating on somebody, bumps, bruises, cuts, can barely walk. I'm doing what I love to do, man, and there's not a single thing on this earth I'd rather be doing.
I mean, you're a pretty well-rounded fighter, at least looking at your fight record and kind of seeing how you're winning fights. I mean, you've got about 50-50. You're about 50% TKO knockouts, about 50% submissions. And if you don't finish somebody, you're typically losing. What does it mean for you to get out there and get a quick start and get yourself in a position for that finish?
like I said, man, I'm not getting in the cage with somebody to hang out with them and play patty cake. I'm trying to mess you up, trying to mess you up as soon as possible, and go out, hang out with my friends and family afterwards. Give people a show, do something mean to somebody, and move on to the next, man.
How do I mean, you're such a fun-loving guy. It's like, you and I have spent time together outside of the cage and outside of fighting. You're such a fun-loving guy, but you get in there and you are so intense when you get into the cage. How do you mentally prepare to get ready for your fight? And do you have any pre-fight rituals or routines that you do before you get ready for fight?
I really like doing it, man. I really like to. So like, I'll walk around the stadium or arena or whatever, listening to music, hang out, talk to my friends and family, hug and kiss them right before. But warm up, I just like doing it, man. Whatever, whenever it's whether it's my friends, my siblings, you could ask any of them. I'm trying to choke all my buddies out. Oh, bro, yeah, I'm a fun hang.
Um, you've been doing this for a while. Has your mindset towards the game changed since you got started? And are you calmer now? Do you still kind of have that same fire that you've had since the jump?
I obviously, once you turn pro and don't have any losses, and you really kind of have that pressure on yourself to, oh, I gotta keep this going, can't lose, can't lose. But like I said, I've taken my losses and I've gotten my wins, man. And I really, all the people I listen to, whether it's Chael, Michael Chandler, just anybody I hear, it's appreciate the ride, man. Take a second and really appreciate that you're getting to do something as cool as fighting somebody on any given weekend and not going to jail afterwards. And like, that's super awesome. And I love what I do, man. I do my damnedest to win every single time. Don't get me wrong. I'm trying to beat people up when I get to, but it's super fun. I love it.
Um, all right, going out there fighting against Ashton Caniglia, trying to get back that last loss that you got. Fearless prediction, man. I mean, I guess the first question is kind of how do you feel you match up against him at this point?
I thought that the first matchup was pretty even. It's pretty classic. I'm more of a striking heavy guy. He's more of a grappling heavy guy. But how I see the fight going is I think he's been pretty vocal about, wanting to pursue more stand up, pursue more boxing, test himself on that type of stuff. And I'm more than game to just stand and box with him with MMA gloves if that's something he is interested in. I think he even signed up for another bare knuckle fight in a month, So if he wants to get a little warm up with me, I'm more than game to have a little warm up with him. But what we're training for is understanding he's a good grappler and trying to stop him from doing that and doing my best to do what I always do and put on for the fans.
Fearless prediction. How do you see the fight playing out?
A little longer, but maybe like the last one where I'm really quick. It can be kind of overwhelming having somebody throw really hard kicks at you or really big punches at you, and I get some of the grapplers to really just shoot on me, and I see Ashton shooting on me, and hopefully I can make something happen with that again and get him out of there.
Man, obviously you've been in the game for a while. You started this as a kid. You got to be pushing almost 30 now, I'm guessing.
29. Oh, don't hurt.
um, what is your future in this game? Kind of, what are your goals and aspirations at this point in your career here?
I just want to keep doing what I love doing, and I want to do it at the highest level I absolutely can, man. As long as my body lets me do it, God willing. I know crap. I was gonna cuss. Crap happens to everybody, man. You never know when this could be taken away from you. So I just want to compete at the highest level, whether that's someday making it to the UFC, someday getting big with the BKFC, I've done that. I love bare knuckle boxing people. I the plan. It's what I have a manager and coaches for. You know, I trust those people to really help guide me in my career and what they think we should do. But what I'm doing is just what I love to do, brother. I'm here to fight people, and they just call me when it's time to do that, and I get ready to do that.
Man, taking a look back, what moment in your fight career do you kind of look at as like that moment, the moment that defined you, that kind of changed was maybe a turning point in your career?
It was definitely the first one that comes to mind, and the one that really just changed my mindset entirely on all of this, was definitely a hard coaching moment from OB. Maybe I was 19, 20, had just lost 3 fights in a row. I think the last one I had lost was that Columbus card. I can't remember who fought, but I think Tony was the headliner. But he told me I was getting beat up in sparring, kind of just giving up a little bit. And he just told me, are you going to come in here and get beat up on and beat up on and beat up on every day? Or one of these days, are you going to actually come in here and try and beat us up? You know what I mean? Are you just going to be the nail all your life and let people beat up on you, and, oh, it's just whatever. Oh, no big deal. Or are you going to try and make something of yourself? Try and do something. And after that point, man, it was no looking back. I was just, it's go time. I'm doing what I love. I love beating people up a lot more than I love getting beat up. And it's a pretty fair negotiation for me. I'm willing to sign up for it.
Man, obviously living in Lincoln, fighting at Pinnacle Bank Arena, you get to you're there representing Lincoln now. You're fighting against a guy from Omaha. What does it mean for, especially being in that co-main event position? I mean, what does it mean for you to be that local representative of the fight game there in Lincoln at this point?
I've been in Lincoln for about 6 years now, and it's been nothing but welcoming to me. I truly love the city. I love how it's big, but it's still a small time feel. I love all of the fans that come out. So many great sports fans that come out, whether it's for the Huskers, football, volleyball, wrestling, you name it, man. It's such an amazing city, and it's really cool to get to represent a good city, and I don't think a lot about the placement on the cards, bro. It's cool. I like it. I get it, but I'm just there to.
Obviously been doing this for a while. How do you see the Nebraska fight scene? How's it evolved? And how do you see yourself playing a role in the future of it?
Well, obviously, the fight game has changed pretty significantly recently, with kickboxing getting added and bare knuckle getting added, not only just with BKFC, but just all those are going to make such a huge difference, not only to the amateur MMA people we see who get to do kickboxing instead of just boxing, and jiu-jitsu matches. And it's just going to make everybody so much more well-rounded. And with Dynasty still being around doing their thing, and you got some other promotions around the state that do their thing too, and it's gonna keep blowing up. Obviously, we got Terrence out of Omaha. It's only a matter of time before we have another great fighter come out of there.
Man, outside the gym, what does your day look like?
Hanging out, well, working, obviously, and then training, hanging out with my dog, hanging out with my wife. Got 2 cats.
What are you doing to pay the bills these days?
I work at, the company's called, I'm not going to say the company's name. It's kind of like an Amazon warehouse, but it's not Amazon. But we do the same kind of like intaking goods, reselling them stuff. I run a forklift and double pallet jack all day.
Sounds like a thrill a minute.
Oh, I like the forklift. It keeps me nice and spry for when I get to defend myself at night. Playing Batman.
Do you have any, outside of the dogs and the family, is there anything you do outside disc golf? Is there anything else you do outside of training and hanging out with wife and working?
Play Xbox.
Play Xbox, all right.
My wife was a country girl who never grew up with any kind of gaming systems and stuff, so I'm getting to introduce her. She just got a Nintendo Switch. I got her first Xbox, all that, yeah. I've I've been a bad influence. I'm a homebody, man. I'm a homebody.
That's very different from when I first met you. You weren't a homebody when I met you, so.
No. Yes, I've calmed down, Nate.
um, I mean, one thing I think is big for fighters is, man, you guys work your asses off to make weight to get ready for these fights. One of the biggest pleasures you guys get in life is that day after the fights when you get to go have that big meal. What is that big meal for you? What is it that you spend your entire fight camp waiting for?
I go to a buffet after weigh-in, so it's not that. Man, I treat myself really good. Um, I'm not. I don't have a. I'm a pretty simple guy. I like a good pasta or something like that. Me and the lady don't have a favorite place around town. We're still kind of trying new places and stuff, so I'm not gonna say a certain place, but I'd say just some good pasta, some Italian food.
Okay. If you weren't fighting, what do you think you'd be doing?
I'd probably be in jail for fighting people. I'm for real, bro. As nice as I am, dude, that's because I have an outlet, brother. Dude, Power Rangers tainted me as a kid, brother. I was like, oh yeah, I'm trying to beat somebody up for real. I was always getting in trouble in school. I was. I'd probably if I didn't have this, I'd probably be in trouble.
Well, man, I'm glad you got this then.
You both, brother.
Man, what can fans expect from you and everybody else at Dynasty Combat Sports Season Beings? What can they expect to see?
Just the card is absolutely stacked with a lot of great talent. Like I said, Precision's got 5 or 6 guys fighting out of there, just my gym alone. So I know for a fact, just 5, 6 fights alone are going to be well worth the price of admission. We're some dangerous people, man. And if you want to see some dangerous people do some ninja stuff, it's the place for you.
Any shout outs you want to give to your coaches, sponsors, or teammates?
Always shout out God, number one. Got to do it. But aside from that, my family, my mom, thanks for letting me do this. Thanks for signing the permission slip when I was 14. Let me go fight somebody in another state. That's pretty cool. Thank you for my wife for putting up with me, my friends, family, fans, everyone who supports me. Thank you to Scott Anson, my manager, all my teammates at the gym, and thank you to you, Nate.
Where can fans follow you and check you out online to kind of follow your journey?
I'm Nate Morrow on Facebook, Instagram. Is there another one? I don't do TikTok. I think that's it. Yeah.
Well, man, I know that we got a lot of people out there that'll be watching you live on MMA Futures. I know I'll be there. I'm in your corner rooting for you. Man, thank you for sitting down and chatting with me. I know it's been a long time. It's a good catching up with you. And
me and Tower will have to go out and have a little meal again sometime.
Man, hopefully. Let me stop this real quick. Let's chat for a second.